This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Every wine tells a story. Each growing season, it's our goal to create an artisan Napa Valley wine of exceptional quality. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.
It is. It's very charming. One of the reasons why we liked it and why we picked the spot was because we're what we call a custom crush facility. So I am a winemaker by day job. This is also my brand, Baldassari. And so we actually make our wine at another winery through custom crush, and then we have the ability to open a tasting room wherever we want. Just turns out in Sonoma County, real estate in the vineyard country and wine country is very expensive. So an urban tasting room seemed like it penciled out a lot better. We've been doing it for 15 years. It's my father and myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great.
So, and we started out very small, 90 cases, 2003, and just kind of trucked along. We figured if we made a mistake and we were going to make a small mistake, we didn't want to get over our skis and start overproducing and then not have a home for it. It turns out it's very easy to make wine. It's actually quite tough to sell it. And so that's kind of the key is get some sales and channels in place, and then start producing as your sales channels grow, as opposed to the other way where you produce a bunch of wine and then you're looking for a home to put it. It depends on the vintage, between 1,000 and 1,200. And so we had started, we got our toes wet with a tasting room. We did a co-op tasting room in downtown Guerneville. And with another brand, it just so happened the space was very small, and we kind of immediately outgrew the space. So we decided to pull out, and it gave us enough confidence to open this space here and kind of take it for ourselves. So we've been open about 6 months now. Yeah, that was a very, very big moment for us and our brand. It's crowded, and what you're seeing is a real consolidation of the industry. So a lot of the big guys that you hear that are, this person bought this winery, that person bought that winery. It also affects the distribution network, because as these wineries start to own more and more and more properties, they own more and more of the distribution channel too, which that means is they control more and more of the shelf space that supermarkets have and fine wine retailers have. They just have more leverage in there. So it's brands like us, small brands, it's very challenging to get anyone's attention unless you go to restaurants still seem to really care about small producers, and high-end bottle shops and high-end grocers that really want to curtail to that kind of different wine audience, I think. But those are small, and there's a lot of competition there. So, it is hard. It's very challenging to go the wholesale route with a brand. We still have accounts that we've developed over the last 15 years that have been very good to us, and we have a good relationship. And so we still very much are involved with those accounts, and we won't hesitate to develop a new account. When we were starting up, we just took anything we could get because we wanted to get our foot in the door. Now it has to kind of make sense. If that, we're not as willing to take ultra low margins just to get a deal closed, because sometimes it doesn't make sense for us. Where in the beginning that very much wasn't the case. So it's really a tribute to my maternal grandfather. His name was Vincenzo Baldassari, and he emigrated from the Marche region of Italy, which is in the Adriatic. He came when he was 17. The little house that we have on our label was a handwritten sketch he had of his house, because he knew he'd never be back. In those days, if you took the trip to America to find a better life, chances are you weren't coming back. And so that's how the house made it onto our label. He was the first one to introduce me to wine. He lived in Chicago, where my mom's from, and every year we'd go out to visit. And as a lot of people from the old world did, he had a deep basement, and he would make his charcuteries, his salamis and everything, and keep them down there. And he also would have a quarter or half barrel of wine, depending on the year. And so he would cut me some of his salamis and pour me a little small cup of wine. And then this started when I was 8 years old. And so it just got me entrenched with the idea of the family winemaker and the family kind of artisan producer. And so when we launched this label, it just seemed fitting to go full circle with it. It's the kind of the keeping not only the name alive but keeping the tradition alive of being the family winemaker. Well, it turns out 1,000 cases is too much to drink for a family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.